Okay, I want to welcome you to 1 Million Cups. 1 Million Cups is part of the Kauffman Foundation out of Kansas City. There are 1 Million Cups chapters all over the United States. They all meet on Wednesday morning. Kind of the same format, a little connecting time, one or two presenters, and some more connecting time, and you can be out the door by 9:30. Would like to thank our sponsors, of course, the Kauffman Foundation, Lincoln Partnership for Economic Development, Baird Home, Bill and Lindsay, Don't Panic Labs for the awesome space, Escape Lincoln, Fuse Co-working. If you attend 1 Million Cups, you can work at Fuse Co-working free of charge today down at 8th and Peace Street. The Mill for the awesome coffee. Merrill Lynch, that is another sponsor, and Alloy System. Our awesome organizing team, without them, this wouldn't be possible. Abby with Lincoln Partnership for Economic Development, on with Escape Lincoln, Dane with Bats and Rats, Amy with Southeast Community College, Dow with Merrill Lynch, Dave with Union Bank, Lindsay with Don't Panic Lab, and myself with Strat DM. We would like for you to please check in. All you got to do is enter your email and you're covered. And if you've already been checked in, please do it again. Afterwards, we do have what are called office hours. We do have experts that will talk to you about all kinds of things. Before we get started, we do have two presenters today. But before we get started, we do have the cohort, the newest cohort from NMotion present today. That's all the blue shirts. So I'll turn it over to Scott, and he can say whatever he wants to say.
Anything. All right. Hello, good morning. And excited to see the next two presenters. But today, you are here for the world debut of cohort number 22 of the NMotion Accelerator. Whoa! Okay. Yeah. It is it's amazing. Generator, I work for Generator, and we've been operating here for about 8 years now. 22 cohorts, 118 have completed the program. We got 6 more in the queue here. So before I get to them, you guys do know, put it on your calendar right now, November 18th, Wednesday, November 18th, 6 to 8 p.m. will be the NMotion Showcase. And you guys know we're going to hold it this year? Yes, you are. You ready for this? This is crowd participation. You guys are speed. I'm the rest. Ready? It'll be November 18th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Museum of American Speed. No, you guys are supposed to go speed, right? On the museum, ready? The Museum of American Speed. Speed. We got to practice. Speed. All right, ready? Museum of American Speed. Yes. All right. Good. All right. So food and drink is on us. Beautiful on West Lincoln. It's a great place, a great venue. I had it last year. It's amazing things to see. You come out and see the museum for free and then hang out for the thing. But first and foremost, let's get to the 6 companies that are here. Derek, come here first. Derek Gartles with Aqualytics. For 30 seconds.
Hello, my name is Derek Gartles from Aqualytics. I'm a water engineer, and I'm solving the water conservation and peak demand management issue for water utilities.
Awesome. Come on up, Kevin. If you've been around long enough, you might have seen Kevin when he worked at NMotion.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. Now Kevin and Wes are back with?
Boon. So my name is Kevin. My co-founder there is Wes. We're building Boon. Boon is building AI agents that help nonprofits raise funding. So find funders, write grants, do all the busy work that it takes to raise money as a nonprofit. We've done about $100K in revenue, and we've raised more than $2 million for our nonprofit clients.
Woo. All right. If you were here at the 10-hour challenge and the Jumpstart challenge last fall, this company actually was born at that event. So take it away, Akash.
Yeah, our company was built in this very building here. So, yeah, my name is Akash Sethi, and my co-founder Neil Agrawal sitting right there, and we're the founders of Cityverse AI. At Cityverse AI, we help municipal civil engineers deploy autonomous agents to help streamline compliance reviews for construction projects. We currently are working with 4 different municipalities, the biggest being the city of Omaha, where we manage a little around 100 million worth of capital projects. And yeah.
Awesome. All right. I know Amir and their team is called Crevo. Amir is on a conference call right now, so you'll see him pop out. But Brian Zimmer here? Yeah, he's with Amir. Okay. So he was their coach during the Rake School. So this is actually the very first Rake Studio company that we have invested in. We're excited to see this great program at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. They're using generative AI to help people build and play games together. So crevo.app if you want to do that. And now, bringing up to the stage, Kirk Zeller from Ravenna with Gap Zero Neuro.
Gap Zero Neuro and founder of the Silicon Prairie Center. Gap Zero Neuro is a technology that makes the removal of clots from the brain when people have an ischemic stroke safer and more effective.
Awesome. All right. And rounding out the cohort, Katie Freeland with Medium D.
With Medium D, we are a vendor management software that streamlines how doctors work with pharmaceutical and medical device. Basically takes away, if you can still believe this, the paper calendar and the business card is still being used.
Awesome. So there you go. There's our 6. Seth Dinger on the board of NMotion. What do you think? What do you think of those 6?
I'm so excited.
Stoked! Stoked! All right, so I do want to invite all of you again to, if you're interested in mentoring and being part of that, let me know. We are going to have about 10 different Zoom-based mentor sessions. So if you have different expertise that you want to help these 6, let us know on that. And the other thing, too, is look for a couple interesting, awesome marketing videos that's going to celebrate the 8-year collaboration between NMotion and Generator, dropping very soon. But November 18th, Wednesday, November 18th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., NMotion Showcase. We'll buy the drinks and the food. You got to come to the Museum of American Speed. Thank you.
And for those of you that aren't aware, NMotion, they get hundreds of applications. They do 2 cohorts a year. They get hundreds of applications, 6 in a cohort. Each team gets a $100,000 investment. And how many weeks?
$1,000, 12 weeks of programming, and then we work with them throughout their course of their career.
And it's heads down, nose to the grindstone programming to see that you can hopefully succeed. Thank you, Scott, for all you do for this community. Okay, we will now get to today's presenters. And I'm happy to introduce the first one, Helen Fagan, who is with Fagan and Associates. Give her a big 1 million cups welcome. Woo!
I have a PhD in thermonuclear dynamics. No, I don't. But I do have a PhD in human behavior. I have been studying human behavior for my entire professional career. I have been an organizational leader. I have been a community leader. I have studied, researched leaders. I have taught leaders. I have coached leaders. I have watched how humans can create the most effective and wonderful environment and burn themselves out and their team members out. As recently as last week, I had a CEO on a call with me crying because of what he was dealing with. So here's what Helen Fagan and Associates does. We develop leaders to change the world, 1 leader at a time. I like to talk, so I wrote down notes so I could keep within that 6 minutes. So please bear with me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you all and to share with you. I'm not here to do a sales pitch. I'm really here to pick your brains about the next iteration of Helen Fagan and Associates. I started this work because I became convinced that we needed to support individuals, brilliant individuals like yourselves who are in this room, to be able to achieve your greatest and wildest dreams. Most of you could probably remember a leader who had such a deep impact on you. Take a moment, close your eyes, and imagine that person's face. What did they do? How did they show up for you? They weren't born that way. They had to work really hard. Leaders are burning out, and they're burning out their team members, especially in the age of AI. With rapid change, we're trying to resolve issues with technical solutions when some of those things require people solutions. Our team isn't getting along, the leader's struggling to listen and give feedback. What do? We implement culture surveys, employee engagement. Great, we spent $100,000 on that solution. But did we teach those leaders how to listen well, how to give feedback, how to have those difficult conversations? A team has stopped trusting each other. What do? We implement Slack, better communication, more transparency. But they're still avoiding those conversations that are challenging because they don't know how to do it. No one's really sat with them and taught them that. People react when they're under pressure. We implement Asana for decision-making processes and project management. But we avoid teaching them the power of the pause and reflection. Any of this sound familiar? AI can only get us so far. It's those human skills that will totally transform and help you to achieve those dreams. We have spent decades, my team and I, weaving knowledge from neuroscience, emotional intelligence, intercultural communication, and psychological capital, and studying leadership theory. We knew that organizations don't need another academic theory. What you need is practical application. How do I deal with this issue in my team right now? And our business has grown through several doors. Sometimes people come to us because they heard me speak at a keynote. Sometimes people come to us because they were former students of mine, because I had a former student recommend me for Nebraska Bankers, and I spoke at a conference there. Sometimes it's training. Sometimes it's coaching. I have a podcast. I've written a couple of books, all to teach leaders how to lead like their people matter. Because when I've interviewed thousands of leaders across the globe, I have taught in 4 continents. When I have asked, what is your most important asset? What do you think they tell me? It's their people. So if your people really matter to you, it's incumbent upon you to elevate your people skills. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to support you. We have expertise at a doctoral level of study of human behavior. And we have intellectual property. We create custom solutions for clients. We want to make that repeatable. Very founder-led. But Helen Fagan is going to step away, and guess what? My former graduate students who are now my team, they're going to take it and move ahead. That was my goal all along when I started Helen Fagan Associates. I was teaching at University of Nebraska, and I had former students come to me and go, Dr. Fagan, it really sucks out there. I love what you're doing. Can you teach me how to help leaders? And I thought, okay. I was 58 at the time. I thought, okay, I'm going to be 60 in a couple of years. How about I spend the last decade of my professional career developing a pathway for these young leaders to pass this on and help support these incredible individuals who want to succeed. And that's the thing that I love about Lincoln. Someday when I have more time, I can tell you a little bit more about my personal story. I was part of the team that helped facilitate the first ever organ donation by a Native American family in the state of Nebraska because of the work we did at Bryan Health. Because we were able to bring people together from different levels of training, different professional ideologies, and different goals to say, what's the best outcome that we could possibly have? And so what I'm here to ask you is, I would love your thoughts on, where do you see the biggest opportunity? How do we scale? How do we take this that we've created, and how do we scale it? How do we productize it? That's what I need your brilliant minds. I don't want to take the human side out of it. That's the most essential piece. But we don't want it to be all about Helen either. This is not about Helen. This is about the team and where they're going. We've spent decades becoming experts in the human side of leadership. Now our entrepreneurial challenge is building a company that allows that expertise to have impact beyond the expert. And that's what I need your help on. Thank you.
And we got time for just a little Q&A, so if anybody has any questions of Helen, give them now.
I was wondering, when did you find out what you wanted to do?
When did I find out what I wanted to do? I walked through every single door that opened for me. That's what I would encourage you to do. Walk through the doors that open. Know your values, know your beliefs, know what you're about, and lean into that. And if those doors are not the spaces that align with who you are, don't walk through them. But walk through the doors that open. I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd be a university professor. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be an entrepreneur. Never. I mean, I was 15 years old, came from Iran to a boarding school 2 months before the US hostages were taken, and I hid who I was for a very long time. I worked really hard to change my accent, so you wouldn't know where I was from. So it took me decades to become comfortable in my own skin. And what I'm telling you is become comfortable in your own skin now. Thanks for asking.
There's frameworks. I'm sure you're familiar with TQM, Six Sigma.
Yep.
Philosophers coming out of Japan. And they've turned into very profitable consulting businesses, right? They scale by having a methodology that they can teach to their partners, and then the partners won't that work for you?
It would work for us. However, that's intellectual property. How do I find out what Six Sigma did to get there? Do you know? If you know, let's have coffee.
I know somebody that knows.
Ooh, let's have coffee. I would love to know somebody who knows somebody that knows.
Any other questions? Okay, Helen will stick around afterwards if anybody wants to talk one-on-one, so let's give her a big hand. Woo! And just really, you did sort of cover it a little bit, but we do ask the last question, what can we as a community do for you? Restate that just in the Cliff Notes version.
Okay. I need to know how to take what I have, that intellectual expertise, and scale it. That's what I want to know, is how do I scale without losing the human side, that human connection.
Okay, thank you. And our second presenter today is Michael Young from Nebraska Enterprise Fund. So everybody, please give Michael a big 1 million cups welcome. Woo!
Well, Scott and our PhD here, I don't know if I can follow much of that, but good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Young. I'm also learning to accept, this will be the first time I publicly said it, I have my DBA, so I am now Dr. Young. I'm not going to be that guy, though, but I'm going to do it right now because I just got it. So I'm born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska. I have been in politics, public policy, emancipated, homeless, and I care about everything to focus on leaving it better than you found it. I left my neighborhood and I got a really cool job because I was just a kid from the hood trying to do good. So I went to Washington, D.C., and I became the national director of the Unified Communications. For you non-IT people, that means every printer, every cell phone, every sat phone, every Teams meeting, every conference room. desk phone, soft phone, everything that connected, even EFAC systems for roughly 88,000 people supporting 330 million Americans. I used to have hair. But what I enjoy about that, and why I say it that way, is I used to help the man. I'm not the tax man, I'm the IT man, but I did help the man, if you will, take money, right? Collect money. I was America's piggy bank. But because we gave the 501c3 status, I could no longer work in my community. I could no longer sit on a board. I was a conflict of interest. I couldn't do anything in public policy, and I absolutely hated it. And yes, everything that you saw in the administration and the news and Doge was real. I had to give them like a MacBook because they said, I don't like your Lenovo. It's 5:30 on a Friday. What are you going to give me to get access? I was like, well, it takes 6 months to get logged into America's, I don't think Warren Buffett wants his tax stuff there. So I got tired of living in a glass bubble, and I came back home. I came back home to Nebraska Enterprise Fund because it is actually 2 blocks from where I was born. It is 3 blocks from where I went to school, Howard Kennedy. Whoop, whoop. Anybody? No? Okay. But I went from taking money to giving money. And just an example of a small project, I'm sure you guys have seen the news, Omaha streetcar. Anybody heard about streetcar? Show of hands. Yeah, we all know about that. Well, I led a transit authority for 10 years, so Orbit, the new Metro, what it's called, wireless buses, everybody riding for free, making sure that we get less school buses on the streets and kids actually on the buses. Public transit, it matters. So the fun part about that is now with the streetcar, we got a private donor to give $5 million, and just in the last 3 weeks, we have given 51 $10,000 grants. Is that not good? Okay. Also, in the same time frame, we're wrapping up phase 2, where we have given out 38 $50,000, 100% forgivable loans to these businesses. And that is at complete no principal, but they will have to make interest-only payments on that. And then now we're going to launch phase 3, where it's a 50% forgivable loan, same time frame, no payments until the end of construction. And we know how government works with construction. Sorry, camera guy, I do like to move around a lot, apologize. But what's good about that is it's impactful to the businesses, the entrepreneurs that are there, that are typically underserved, being hungry, not being able to pay their bills, pay their staff, fix their machines. And that's what I love about Nebraska Enterprise Fund. We support underserved communities, people that are typically unbankable. Sometimes we work with people that are bankable and they say, hey, you look like you want to loan for $200,000. That might not be enough to accomplish your dream. So we're going to partner with FNBO and we're going to get $400,000 so you can be profitable in 2 years. There's a lot of different tools that we have at Nebraska Enterprise Fund. Technical assistance, education, how to do a business plan. We got this fun platform, self-paced learning called Growth Wheel. And what I love about what I do is it doesn't feel like a damn job anymore. I'm a dad, I'm married, that's enough. Again, I'm going to talk about my hair again. But what I love about what I do at Nebraska Enterprise Fund is it empowers people. It empowers people that typically don't have access to generational wealth. It empowers people that are typically veterans and they say, I'm leaving the service, I don't know what I'm going to do next. It empowers women who have thought, well, I've never seen anybody in leadership like me. I don't know how to stand up and be out in that space. I love that. I love working with black people, brown people, minorities. I definitely love working with kids. And I come down and I teach them and say, hey, what business are you going to serve? And I believe you talked about Native Americans. I go up to Macy every 2 weeks. I facilitate entrepreneurial classes. And I didn't want to be the normal person that says, I got something for you. Bet you want to know what I'm going to do for you. No, I went up there and says to the children, I said, you one day are going to be the leaders in this community. What problem do you have? Do you see today? And what are you going to do about it? And if you were going to do that with a business, how would you do it? That's why I love my job. So with that, I could go on, and I apologize. I see many familiar faces. A lot of you I haven't seen in a long time. But with that, just remember that we are all about an ecosystem. There are certain things in our communities, and I will say this is me personally. I'll take off my NEF hat. I'm tired of people having egos and getting in their own damn way and saying, I've got to be everything to everyone. No, you need to go be good at what you're good at. And let me be good at what I'm good at. Because we're still a nonprofit, and I'm tired of asking for the same dollar that you're going to say you're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to go do the same thing. That's a damn waste of time, and that's myself public policy So with that, I digress. I would love to open up for questions and answers. I know that was a lot. I know it was a lot. Yes, sir.
I'd like to hear one story of one of those people that got 10,000 or 20,000 that just really struck you.
It's actually a gentleman I'm going to highlight at our annual event called Startup to Success. Save the date. It's actually going to be on September 11th in Omaha, and it's unfortunate to say I know exactly where I was 25 years ago from that date. I'm sure many of you do too as well, but it is the 25th anniversary of that horrible tragedy. And I made a specific point that we are going to highlight veterans on that date. So we're going to have 3 panels, and each panel is going to have a veteran on that panel. And to your point, his name is Pierce Robinson, former Air Force retired, and we had him on a panel for our Juneteenth kind of, black entrepreneur, and he says, people think I fight trees. And I was like, what? And I was like, that's not why we funded you. What do you mean you fight trees? He's like, no, that's how people get. What he does is he actually takes drones and GIS information and goes out to farmers, goes out to forests, and he says, this is where you're not getting good drainage. This is where you have an infestation. This is where you need to rotate your crops. He's really good at data, and he's really good at data from a USDA perspective. So Pierce Robinson, if you haven't heard about him, please look him up. His business is called Stone Pillar Inc. Amazing individual. We're actually getting ready. In less than 1 year, he got his first loan from us a year ago. He's been so successful that he's paid off over 40% of it. And we're getting ready to give him another $150,000 for his next venture, where he's going to work with farmers and guarantee what we call it, I can't put all his tea out there, but he's going to protect farmers, livestock, and crops. So, great question. Yes.
So you talk about helping underserved communities, underserved individuals. Curious to know for startups, they reach out to the Nebraska Enterprise Fund and they open the door to have that discussion. What's the next parts of the process look like for those individuals?
Be patient. I'll be honest, I've had to completely flip our intake process a full 180. Loans used to come in, or applications used to come in, and it would go right to a loan officer. Well, loan officers are great at analytics and data and things like that. They're not always hey, how you doing? Want some coffee? That's not them. Who is my trainers? Who are my client developers? They get everyone loan ready is what I call it. Collect all the tools, help them with their projections. We give them vertical IQ and say, this is what your competitors are doing in your market. This is what the competitors are doing in Chicago. And this is what competitors of your size are doing in New York. It's important. All right? So the next step is you come and apply it. And I will be honest, every Monday at 2 o'clock, I have a pipeline meeting because I like to control the flow of water, but I can't control how many people are thirsty. But I have roughly 45 people in queue right now trying to get a loan. That does not mean the ones who are already in underwriting, not the ones who are already doing projections. Those are people knocking at my front door, took a number. So what we typically like to do is you fill out our application, you go to NEBBIZ. I didn't pick that domain, trust me, I wouldn't have, .org. And then there in the menu, there's apply now, and it's a questionnaire. What do you need? Who are you? Of course, we got to do our CDFI, community development, financial institution work, and catch your demographics. And then we have a kickoff meeting. Janice, my admin assistant, she'll call you and say, hey, you're in eastern Nebraska. I'm going to connect you with Francisco. Or you're out in North Platte, because we serve all of Nebraska and Iowa. So, yeah, I drive a lot. I actually found out it's faster for me to fly into Denver, get a rental car, and go to Sydney than it is to drive to Sydney. And yes, I know that. Again, hair. But what we do after that is we do a quick assessment, kind of see where you are. We do a deep dive discovery. Is it just ideation? Are you just at the point of like, I've already talked to my bank and my bank said, I'm a startup. They won't even give me money unless I've been around 2 years. They're not going to give me money unless I put up my house. So the beautiful thing of what we get to do is we say, we know we're a startup, but we ask you to have some skin in the game, some collateral, some cash, typically around 10%. And then 2 weeks later, we do what's called is the 360 assessment. Your name, if you don't mind? Belinda. Nice to meet you, Belinda. I've never met a Belinda. I've met a Melinda. So what we do with this 360 is we truly ask you what you don't know. You think you're a rock star. You came with your business plan, like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna have the best widgets that ever existed. You suck at marketing, I'm sorry. And here's some levels and trainings and modules in a 30, 60, 90-day plan to get there, while in tandem, we're still getting you loan ready. Because we want you to be successful. And this is one of the very specific questions I was asked when I came to Nebraska Enterprise Fund, is I think it's awesome what we do, but if I wanted to go build a house, or I wanted to go get some drywall done in my house, I would have no idea that I'm gonna go reach out to you. Your name is?
Steven.
Steven. I would have no idea that Steven had a drywall company in my community, and he is putting economic development and improvement in my community. And by the end of this month, we will have a directory of everybody we've ever funded, good or bad, unfortunately, but there are lessons learned, right? You have to do kind of a deep dive. So that is our simple process. And sometimes, like I said, people come to us and say, I only want $40,000 because my widget only needs this, and I don't want to pull a salary. I say, First thing I say is, now I know you have competing priorities. If I'm not paying your bills, I'm number 2, at least. That's not making you successful. We want to make sure you're funded within 2 years. So, great question, Belinda. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. That is my time. Thank you, everyone.
I see that you and I have the same barber. I just claim I'm taller than my hair.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to use that.
Oh, yes, I keep forgetting. What can we as a community do for you?
Powerball numbers. You know, honestly, tell the story of Nebraska Enterprise Fund. We have roughly $35 million in our coffers to support agencies, farmers, agriculture, Native Americans, people who are in development. We just did a $5 million meat processing fund out in Hastings. The only kosher, like I saw it from the truck to a box, and I was wearing a suit. And let me tell you, I grew up in South Omaha a little bit. I thought I was ready for beef. I wasn't. But I would say the best thing that you can do is tell our story. We are here. We are through the whole state of Nebraska. We support veterans through all of Iowa and Nebraska. There's really nothing that we won't touch, we won't talk about. And if you're not ready, we're going to find you the resource that gets you ready. So that is how you can help us send people to my door. And yeah, I guess call me Dr. Young.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Young. There is more coffee. Stick around and connect a little bit. If you think you should be up here presenting, let us know. If you know somebody that should, come back next week. Bring friends with you to 1 Million Cups.